Hello and welcome to another Hybrid Major Glitches tournament race. We have Osse101 versus prdwong, Game 2 of their series. I'm Chex Human and I'm joined by...
Malmo, how are you doing?
Good, thanks. I'm excited for this race.
Yes, this is Game 2. Game 1 had an unfortunate end where Aussie hardlocked and prdwong took it, but this can still go either way. Both runners are very strong. I know this from experience.
It was something that was a learning experience for me as well. A lot of the times in glitched modes, we are learning things, not just about how to perform glitches, but how things can go wrong. So it was a learning experience that will hopefully serve as a note for all players.
Yeah, so we're starting up now. I'm off to a good start with the hammer in Link's house. It's like both runners starting with this is kind of the meta route now, is to check Hylia Island first and then either go to Sahasrarla or Hobo. You don't see a whole lot of people doing Sanctuary starts. Very few doing Uncle starts.
So, yeah, I don't think I've seen an Uncle start in the brackets.
Now we got our first map check as well, Desert with a pendant, and the other ones are normal crystals. And they are already splitting up, with prdwong going to Sahasrarla's Closet, a common opener in modes where you start with the boots. Aussie unfortunately hit the transition wrong and has wisely held select, which allows you to save and quit on the first frame and not get soft locked for 3 minutes.
It's a long time, yeah.
Yeah. It's long enough that hard resetting is faster if you're just starting from a save and quit. I think Aussie's going to try it again, knowing that the guard has a bomb, has farmed another one and gotten him out of his hair.
I appreciate that Aussie is going for it again.
Yeah.
No reason to leave it behind.
Usually when you fail that, it's because you're too high, and it's an easy fix. You just go lower. prdwong, Aussie finds the Moon Pearl on Hobo, so very good to stick with that one. prdwong, I'm not sure where he's going. I'm assuming he's just doing a fake flipper setup for Hobo from this out of bounds location. It's slightly slower, but a little safer, and he actually saves time over soft locking. So, just because something isn't optimal does not mean it's a bad option. Both of them get their Moon Pearl, and that's what counts.
Right, and now Aussie is exploring the northwest side of the world, and I'm not sure where he usually likes to go from here. We can sort of explore any adjacent part of the world with boots clipping. So we'll see where he goes next.
Yeah. As a general rule, anything that's next to each other on the tracker is actually next to each other in real life, and you can get there, including the mountain right next to this region. You might see them loop around and check the mountain if they choose not to go to Kakariko Village instead. Kakariko Village is a density play where you can get some early equipment that makes the rest of the game safer. But if you find something elsewhere, you can avoid orphaning checks in Kakariko and do a more thorough clear.
This is an extremely exciting seed for me. We have Mirror and Moon Pearl both very early. I'll wonder how much of the Dark World and Light World we can clear all at the same time. And Hammer, of course. I'm sure we'll take an early trip into Tower of Hera, and we'll see whether it's clearable or not. And Hera is a dungeon that may be blocked by something in sort of an unusual way. It might be blocked by the Meyer Medallion. So we'll see what the key layout tells us. All right. Well, with a bit of a dash out of the clouds, Aussie returns to land And we find the hook shot on Spectacle Rock. Yeah, with a hook shot in hand, we can use Harapot. So we can always reach the top of the tower with that. Meanwhile, prdwong is exploring Kakariko well. Okay, we have just a key downstairs, and we have double heartbeats for Aussie. Alright, we have Quake Medallion and Kakariko well. We have a missed bumper skip for Aussie. Meanwhile, prdwong is continuing through Kakariko.
All right, very nice Moldorm from Aussie. But despite having 3 hearts, the hammer does make it quite a bit safer and a little bit faster. It's pretty easy to not get hit there, but it's also easy for it to go wrong quickly because Moldorm is unpredictable.
Interesting that powder is at Moldorm.
Yeah, this is one of the reasons people like to put off Kakariko, is because Aussie can check that powder. Not only having the powder, but having a magic refill allows him to...
If I missed the bow for prdwong, I assume it was in Kakariko. Next, Aussie is going to save the old man, and we'll get a mountain cave save point out of this. And prdwong is already exploring Desert Palace. We, of course, do not need the Book of Medora to get inside. We just can clip from a number of different slopes from outside of the desert and enter the left entrance. Right. So Aussie is able to do a Death Mountain descent into King's Tomb, and he's able to trick the game into thinking that he has the mitts, or not necessarily that he has the mitts, but just that he can lift the object in front of him because he is stuck between a bush and a rock.
Stuck between a rock and a soft place, I like to say.
Yeah.
All right, prdwong is continuing the desert route. This overworld is all connected to each other. Gina's Cave is not the weird location that it is in No Glitches. You can just get here with all these other locations like Cave 45. Aussie has gotten probably the most common soft lock and glitch modes, which is Graveyard Ledge Descent. It's a tough glitch. I don't know. It's so easy to miss an input in soft lock there. Thankfully, not too bad a punish when you do. You just save and quit and try again. Going for the mountain climb this time.
Yeah, it has a bit of a funky setup that helps to have Link on a proper sub-pixel position, which is a little bit trickier than just putting Link into a corner. And then it has a sequence during the fall that has to be done correctly.
Oh, a sword. Okay, Gina's Cave has a sword. That's going to make the mountain safer for prdwong, but also going to miss out on having the powder for Kakariko because he already went there. Aussie is choosing to go straight into the clouds, blind checking the island when he had the option to go across the bridge normally. It's just
Interesting.
Yeah, it might be a safer choice because you're not passing by all these tektites with 3 hearts.
Yeah.
But getting back inbounds can also be dangerous. But Aussie can handle himself, so he gets in with no damage whatsoever. Gets through Spiral Cave with his hook shot. That's a weird bonk. Also a weird bonk. Got simultaneous weird bonks. Purity Wong got the one that you get when you mirror block delete, which for some reason like messes up your bonk. And Aussie got a diagonal bonk. And there's a mushroom in the dam. I forget which runner went to Sahasrahla. I think it was Purity Wong. Aussie is going to be able to chain the mushroom with the Sahasrahla check by clipping down if he chooses to. So it's a little bit less isolated than the mushroom is for Purity Wong.
Yeah, that would be a good idea.
He also has the bow. So when Aussie finds that, he'll be able to do all of that with Eastern Palace. Bombos and also a sword and cape at Paradox Cave. So both of them get swords on their respective routes, and both of them will be finding Master Sword not too far from each other.
All right, and a bomb jump for Aussie to return him to the north or the upper part of the mountain. So we'll see where he goes from here. Maybe a Turtle Rock portal, or I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, this is Hookshot Cave and Super Bunny. This is all of Dark Death Mountain available for Aussie. It's definitely a solid play. I don't know if he had the mirror coming here, because he had the option of coming here in the Dark World and then mirroring out, if he did.
Yeah. Both runners got mirror in Blind's hideout.
Yeah, I wonder if that was a choice or if it just didn't occur to him to do it that way. I don't know which one's optimal. Like, it's definitely a choice you can make either way. There's a heart piece there. Every time I see a heart piece there, I get a little nervous. If you get a refill from a heart piece, it will put you back in fake flipper state. Okay, so Aussie doesn't have a glove, and that's not going to be too much of an issue. The only thing glove is really hard required for is Ice Palace and a couple overworld checks. Hookshot Cave is not one of them. Aussie is going to skip the glove by entering through the back door.
All right, so Purdy Wong is exiting
Ooh.
an uncommon route. Purdy Wong will be doing a DMA from Zora area, and the screen wraps him and it places him on the higher level rocks, and then now he's able to check East Death Mountain.
This
the
is
screen
wild.
scroll, yeah.
I actually don't know how to do this. It like makes me dizzy every time I see someone pull this off with this much confidence. And look at already in Spiral Cave, going to find another sword very quickly and going to be following Aussie in the Death Mountain checks. Is this Purity Wong's first trip up the mountain?
And we see a green pendant in Skullwoods and pendant Turtle Rock. Interesting.
Yeah, and speaking of Turtle Rock, we're here. We're doing Mimic Cave. We'll see if Aussie decides to go deeper into TR with really no equipment at all that unlocks it, except for the 2 chests he can walk to from the middle. Yeah, choosing to only do Mimic Cave is a pretty safe bet. Like, when you go into TR, you're not even guaranteed to find an item. You might just go in and find a key and get stuck. So it's probably not worth the time.
Yeah, seems like a good call.
It does make Catfish a little awkward, though. I don't know when Aussie plans to route that in, if at all. It's one of those choices you have to make. Both of them will be dead ends, and you just have to choose one or the other. Alright, this is a Death Mountain descent play from Aussie, going to just trump off the mountain to the Dark World and start his route here. Wow, checking Graveyard Ledge with the mirror. This is a glitch I've never seen before.
Yeah, the mirror, like I mentioned before, it's a way to string together Light World and Dark World checks. Little known fact, we can check it its normal way.
Yep. It's so easy to just get a one-track mind and glitch and forget that you can do it things the non-glitch way. Remembering to do all of the routes and not just the the ones in your mode is part of the skill of routing these complex modes.
Yeah, absolutely. And prdwong, after a check of Hera, gets hookshot and now returns to Hera.
Yep. Nothing says do me like nothing says do Hera like getting the hookshot right outside Hera and having the hammer. And it's a crystal. There's no reason not to do this right now. I didn't see the items in Hera. Did we find both on Aussie's side?
Not sure.
Oh no. You can't mirror there, can you? That's unfortunate.
Yeah, prdwong got the soft lock from Herapot. A strange property of falling into a hole.
So
For some reason, I don't really know why that happens. But yeah.
And he didn't DMA to the old man like he intended to, so he has to do it now. So all that time he would have saved doing the Zora DMA has been lost. Now he has to do another DMA. He has to rescue the old man anyway. It's not that slow. Yeah,
but it's just so unfortunate that he was sort of distracted by the hookshot on Spectacle Rock.
Yeah, I mean it was safe to do Hera and then jump down. That play made total sense. Nobody routes with soft locking in mind.
Right. And I saw it happen to someone the other day, and he said, I pressed left, and I looked at his input display, and yes, he did press left. But if it happens too early, Link is still in a hook shot state and doesn't get the kick.
So he pressed left while it wasn't actually going to move him. I see.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So
it's one of those things that happens when you go too fast.
Too fast, exactly.
You get too good at the game and you just go too fast and the game punishes you for it.
Yeah. All right. What's next for prdwong? Another Hera clip. All right. Hera, part 3.
I'm always a little nervous when I see people do the hookshot version when they have a small key to burn. In HMG, we like to save the key for Swamp. And we're not supposed to use it in Swamp, but it is a lot faster than using the intended Meyer key.
Right. We haven't talked too much about underworld glitching, but this mode is just like overworld glitches with everything in logic in that mode, plus this mode adds 4 underworld clips, and that includes Meyer to Hera and Hera to Swamp. So we are expected to use our keys wisely, and we're expected to use them from Misery Mire. But we have other options as well.
Is this in logic? I missed if the Hera Big Key was available.
Yeah, I also missed that. But
Fortunately, I lost internet during that part.
Oh, I know it's not expected because all that is expected is to have the small key, and the other item was a compass.
Okay, so we don't know because we didn't do Hera Basement. Hera Basement could be the big key,
Right.
or the big key could be upstairs in its own chest. Is that what I'm getting?
We don't know if Hera is fire locked or mire locked.
Okay. And we will probably never find out because nobody does Hera Basement in HMG until they have to.
Right. And meanwhile, Aussie is in Thieves Town, clearing Kakariko and Village of Outcasts together. Huge, it's not a huge advantage, but it is one of the benefits of having early mirror and Pearl.
Yeah, this seed has been moving along at a good clip. Like the early Moon Pearl, early Hammer, and all that. There hasn't been anything bottlenecking the runners yet. This could end, of course, in a nasty Kane hunt where Kane is in mire or something, but it doesn't look to be trolling too much yet.
Yeah, we have several items in Sphere 1 already, and so, you know, we might be done with Sphere 1, but we also can get into Palace of Darkness if we wanted to. Check that first item.
Well, first item, we can check all of it.
We can check all of it if we want, of course.
We can do a really nice route from Pod to Eastern to Sahasrara for Aussie. Hasn't done that yet. Click up to check the mushroom if he picks that up by then. Aussie has not been to South Shore yet and picked up the mushroom from the dam.
Oh, yeah.
Another item we are missing that we need is the glove. I've seen some seeds in glove go mode be quite trolly. You would think that glove go mode would be nice because there's two of them, but because very few things are actually locked by the glove, they can be just about anywhere, and it can be hard to find them. All right, Purity Wong is showing the other fork of the bad choice you have to make on the mountain is catfish. Also does not have anything good for us, so neither runner is going to get punished by their 50-50 coin flip choice that they made.
And Aussie going into the blind fight has Fighter's Sword, but as always, it's just a 9-hit battle.
Yeah, this is not terrible equipment for blind. This is what you'd expect to have in the speedrun equivalent of this mode, where you come here with Fighter's Sword and I think it's 7 hearts as well. And gets a heart from him, just like you do in the game. Aussie's gonna continue on this route. Purity Wong is climbing up. I want to say Ganon's Tower is available, but he's correcting his camera, so I'm thinking that's not where he's going. Maybe he's thinking Dark World as well. Just a standard go from north to south Dark World route. Or just go to Pod. Oh, he hasn't done Spectacle Rock Cave because, right, he was going to do this on the way down.
We have Blue Mail for Aussie and Brewery. Okay,
nice.
How is Aussie gonna get to the Magic Bat here?
I'm thinking this is Hammer Pegs and Bat together, which is kind of a neat route you don't see very often. Unfortunately, very easy to soft lock if you don't know your cues. It's also easy to hard lock. I would be careful here. Thank you. There is a bad transition up there in that water that you can hit if you swim up.
Oh, yeah.
Because you're going from a small screen to a big screen, and the transition from the small screen gets copied over and the game doesn't expect it to be there, and yeah, bad things happen.
I've definitely soft locked on the right side of that screen in the pyramid moat.
All right, prdwong has gone into Ganon's tower. This is a potentially lucrative play, having both the hammer and hook shot. Lacking a fire source, will not be able to climb. Hopefully he remembers that, because you can get all the way up to Torches 1 before you realize that you don't have fire.
He's right behind him. Wow.
Look at this. That's some good sync. Unfortunately, with when you get those overworld soft locks, it makes the route break up and can be hard to get back on route. He's going to have to, probably while he's doing this, he's thinking in his head, how is he going to finish his Dark World route? Because you don't normally plan around soft locks. This is a good option where you don't really have to think about what you're doing. You just do the dungeon and have room to think and plan ahead.
And it's true, both runners still, of course, do not have a lift upgrade, and so it becomes harder to enter the Dark World.
Oh, that is very true. So if Aussie wants to get, do the route again, but start from Hype Cave, for example, he's going to have to do some other descent. I would say probably Pyramid Fairy Mirror Clip descent is the best option for him. He could actually wrap to Hammer Pegs and continue his route just where he left off. Or by route, I guess swim there from the pyramid.
Yeah.
And then use a little hook shot trick to get out of the pyramid screen.
Oh, yeah.
Or not the pyramid screen, the Hammer Peg screen, and continue on his way down. If he gets a fire source here and can climb, he can even fight Aga too and do the same route. Maybe that's what he's hoping to find. But again, it depends on finding that fire.
All right, and another mail upgrade at Bob's chest.
Not far from its vanilla location, and all this health and random room. It's a good thing the runners aren't going to be death warping a lot.
Right.
All right, is this is a cane lock dungeon, so we'll be coming back with the Cane of Samaria to finish it. I don't think I saw the big key, or the big chest for that matter. They would have done the big chest if they had it. The Samaria is required for Mire, but the Fire Rod is another one of those things that we might not need in this seed. The runners will have to do a bomb jump in right side GT to skip it if it's not in tile room.
So, prdwong just demonstrated a screen wrap to get to Spectacle Rock, and he did it using a spin speed method where he activated spin speed, and normally jumping off the corner with that state puts Link in position to screen wrap to Spectacle Rock.
Yeah, it actually kind of throws you into the clouds above Spectacle Rock itself, and then you can do some dashes to get back down. But the important thing is it gets you into this cave where you can clip into pod. And when you're in pod from a cave, you're still in the cave even when you're in pod, and you can open doors because the game thinks you have a lot of keys, even though you doesn't show that you have a lot. You don't have 0, and that's all the game cares about. Okay, Aussie's actually gonna descend Death Mountain a different way now. He's gonna jump a bunch of times, and every time he jumps, he's gonna fall on the world map, and then when he transitions, he'll be at the bottom of the world map. So you'll see now he's at the mire screen and the swamp screen. He's going to correct his camera at swamp so he can navigate normally.
Yeah. We've seen a camera correction at Hera. We've seen a camera correction at Swamp Palace.
Oh, and it routes nicely into the dam, which Aussie has not done yet.
Right. This makes sense.
Kind of a shame you can't just do this with Swamp, but in hybrid major glitches, Swamp is usually done inside out anyway, so it doesn't happen very often.
Right.
prdwong has not found the second non-key in the front of Pod, so he has to go to the right side, which is something you hope to skip. You don't normally get to skip this, but if you have opened that door with the free cave key, you can skip 2 keys in Pod, one with the hammer jump and one with the free door. But you have to have determined that these are both keys, and that is not the case in this seed.
Big cave coming up for Aussie.
Yeah, I'm wondering how he's going to do mini Moldorm Cave now that he's already done a South Shore route and cut off from it.
Well,
maybe
I think he'll continue on.
Yeah, he might just do it now because he still has the option of doing Pyramid Fairy Clip and then swimming to Hammer Peaks and then doing the rest of the village checks there.
Red Mail and Mirror Shield for Aussie now.
Oh, he changed his mind. He actually doesn't know where to go. This is a hard decision to make. Oh, he got a quick warp.
Nice observation there. Yeah.
They happen by accident sometimes. Normally in the speedrun you set them up on purpose, but sometimes you just get one up by accident.
Yeah. Not uncommon.
Oops.
Since there's about a 1 in 4 chance.
Yeah, prdwong has gotten attempted the hammer jump, but not quite made it. So Aussie has found the rod that doesn't do anything until we find the other rod. And doesn't really do much in the seed anyway for TR being a pendant. But it's available, so if we ever do find the fire rod, that'll be an option for us. So I didn't really consider this, but prdwong is in Pod without any fire source at all. So while it can be cleared, it is going to slow him down somewhat, going through the dark maze and having to do turtles in the dark with no fire rod. That might be why both runners have delayed it until now. But I'm surprised to see prdwong hasn't done any of the main Dark World yet before attempting this.
Yeah, it's an interesting play. I'm a little confused about why prdwong used a hammer jump here.
Yeah, it forces you to navigate out of the dark maze with, in the dark instead of just mirroring out. It's kind of a route you would take if you didn't have the mirror, but he does. So I'm not certain it's helping him in this case.
Yeah, I'd like to ask if maybe he's more comfortable routing through the dark maze in this particular direction. So we'll see.
Nothing so far in Pod except for a bottle of blue potion. Maybe we'll see some tricks with that, but more likely it's just going to sit there. Maybe get used on Ganon if they end up fighting him with the Master Sword. And not counting his keys, but I think he did that on purpose to get through the room. Yeah, he's doing like a mirrorless routing of Pod, which is interesting. It's working out though. Like he's able to just walk to Helmasaur, which is kind of nice. Oh, and Aussie's following behind. Wow, this is just... They split off for a brief second and then they converge again. Aussie has a little bit more behind him in terms of dense overworld that he's done and dense dungeons. I'm trying to think of what prdwong has done that Aussie hasn't done. Besides little things like Mimic Cave. Other than just being ahead in Pod.
And Aussie also repeating the trick to open the first key door.
Yeah, Aussie did Thieves Town. It's just not displaying at the moment. He fought blind, and what happens, he tried to do a wrap to hammer pegs, and then soft locked, so he ended his Dark World route there.
All right. It's a dark turtle room for prdwong. It looks good. He's
Yeah.
got it.
I don't think he took any hits. I think he did this damageless.
Very well done.
It's not slowing them down as much as I said it would. Usually when I do that room, it's a bunch of bombos and frustration.
If it comes down to it, Bombos is a good option.
Yeah. Aussie is going for arrows on Helmasaur. Going to restock in Eastern. Arrows can be tricky to hit Helma with because he moves so quickly in phase 2. And now just going for spins instead. Yeah, Aussie does have the option to just go straight to Helmasaur right now. And he's going to do it. This is an interesting play because I think it's faster to do this now, but also if there was a fire source in the back of pod, he's missing out on that. We know there isn't, but that is something that does factor in when you're making a decision like this. Glady remembers the switch is hit. It's really easy to forget that and hit the switch.
Yeah.
Hammer dash through the front of Eastern. Nice little rando strat using quick swap. And
yeah,
again with the cape.
Exactly. 2 quick swap strats. Those are strats I picked up from Furaime, the hammer dash in particular.
Yeah, I love to see the Eastern just get sped up a little bit by these rando specific strats. And having the hook shot in this room as well. All right, let's see. Aussie is going for Bombos in Turtle Room.
Oh, good. So he had several turtles already flipped when he did that, so that's good.
Yeah, there's always that one at the end, though.
Mm-hmm.
It's so hard. And now it flips over. There we go. Nice cleanup. Has Aussie not been to desert? Because I guess that's where the sword was. It was at Agina's cave, so he's still on Fighter Sword.
Okay.
Did he do Kakariko at all?
Yeah, I believe so.
Done it with Village.
He got his bow from the village.
Yeah. Okay, so maybe he intended to mirror from Meyer and do desert there, which would have been a very efficient play, but it got cut short by his soft lock. Very nice Helmasaur using hammer strats to finish him off quickly. I think the runners are really close to each other because both of them have a dungeon ahead of the other.
Yeah, I agree with that. And of course, until we find Go mode, it's anyone's game.
Yeah, we're ways from Go mode. We need quite a few things. I think Kane has been determined to be required for GT and also Meyer. Fire Rod or Lamp for Ganon, because you need a fire source. And a glove for Ice Palace, flippers for Swamp Palace. All of those are needed.
I can't say I've seen a fire source go mode. I feel like there's been one in this tournament, but I don't know if I've seen
Yeah.
it.
It's more of a no logic thing. Fire source go mode requires the stars to align. I think the most interesting go mode I've seen is Moldorm 1 Access,
Yeah,
where
that was
you
neat.
have to find either the medallion from Meyer or the hook shot. It does require the runner be able to hover or Moldorm bounce to have that kind of go mode, but it has happened.
Nice Harmos Knights for prdwong. Top right strat. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So is prdwong turning in the mushroom now, maybe?
Yeah, this is a mushroom clip. Going up here to get up to the witch. Correcting his camera so he doesn't get that screen transition. And gonna jump right down. Gotta be careful
there.
on this. Diagonals are really easy to get weird jumps on.
Mhm.
I
And
don't think I've seen anyone soft lock that one, but it does look like it could happen.
Yeah, I'm not sure about whether that's soft lockable. That's the heart container at the potion shop. I did learn from watching Yuzuhara that simply walking down from that transition into a hop is the fastest strat.
Oh, interesting. Good to know.
Yeah, if you can sort of hop near the rock, you'll get a long jump to the left, which is going to save a second.
It's a decent amount. Where is prdwong going? This looks like a pyramid fairy setup. So what he's doing is he has screen wrapped himself once again, changing his global position. So when he presses X on the map, it shows him at Hyrule Castle. And it'll also show his mirror portal there because that's where he placed it. All he has to do is go back there without saving and quitting. He's going to take a graveyard descent route, which is going to put him in Houlihan, and he's going to walk from Link's house to the castle. Interesting that the runners got the mirror so early in the game and have not visited the castle yet. Usually people put it off because they don't have the mirror. It's rare to see them put it off because they have other things to do.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. prdwong starting with the uncle makes me think that he intends to continue his route from the pyramid. Doing that last will keep him in the dark world, and he can do things like swim to hammer pegs and continue and actually start his dark world route because he hasn't done his dark world yet. So maybe he can go to Hype Cave and go north. He has a few options available to him. Ooh, rare spin speed from the uncle chest. I'm not sure how much time that saves, but it looks cool.
Yeah, I haven't been able to do that optimally myself, but I know I've seen Area or PS do it, and others.
One thing we have not seen yet is the medallion requirement for Meyer. We cannot skip the Meyer medallion to enter Meyer. We do need that. So if it is ether, we will be looking for that as well. That was a really nice react on that Stalfos in Zelda Gamer Room.
downward shot, or
Yeah, the downward shot. Like just casually turning around and sharpshooting him.
yeah,
Usually it's easier to get caught up in the Stalfos and ooh, Yuzu strat. It's easier to get caught up in the Stalfos and like focus on one and then do the Armos or the other thing. But alright, that was a really nice Armos from Aussie. I think that's the optimal strat. Am I correct?
I think it's the Pincus strat, which is more consistent
Okay.
in terms of getting the cutting down, saving frames, basically. That's what I want to say.
Yeah, it looks cool too. Aussie has used the bomb to walk past his portal, so he can do this because he hasn't done this yet. It's going to be a little more efficient than walking from Link's house was for prdwong, and then he can go back up to the mushroom. prdwong is now in Dark Cross with no key. And he finds the Cane of Samaria.
Wow.
So that's out of logic, but very required in this seed.
Yeah, that's huge.
All right, he's remembering. Okay, he remembers that you had to walk left, but didn't walk left enough, and now has soft locked. That's unfortunate. prdwong has gotten a kind of unfortunate positioning to go into this, but he knows how to fix it. It's going to take a couple transitions to correct his camera position so that when he exits, he'll be on the other side of the wall. That wasn't the most costly soft lock for Aussie. It's we know it's not going to lead to anything. As long as it doesn't haunt him and make him come back, he will not lose time. I think he is also going to Pyramid Fairy. Yeah, he's got his mirror out. This is the same thing. Once again, following that trend of just doing the thing prdwong just did while being ahead by Thieves Town. So these runners are still very close to each other. And if I'm not wrong, I saw a lamp.
Yeah, I missed what was in there, but looks like it was a lamp. Yeah.
I believe it was on prdwong's side in Pyramid Fairy.
And
a sword.
We'll also be finding out what the powder leads to.
The Tempered Sword was also at Pyramid Fairy, which is vanilla, I guess. Normally it would be the Butter Sword. Powder is just 50 rupees. Hammer Pigs was also nothing, so Aussie does not miss out on that. But he will be probably doing the same thing prdwong's doing. Now he's getting his second sword here because he hasn't been to Gina's cave yet.
And a red potion refill from the fairy.
All right, this is prdwong doing that hookshot trick I was talking about. This is actually no glitches legal. You can do this in cross keys if you get spat out in that entrance. I'm trying to think about when will we know that they're synced up. When prdwong has finished Thieves Town, we'll see how far behind Aussie is in getting to the Village of Outcasts and doing the checks that prdwong just did, and that will give us a rough estimate of how far behind. I believe Aussie is a little bit behind. How far behind Aussie is in terms of just general progress and how many checks they have done.
Yeah. Oh, there's that fire shield. So, we saw Aussie fight blind with fire shield a long time ago. I didn't notice that it was in Thieves Town.
Yeah, well, I guess Aussie got, yeah, he got his mirror shield here. That makes sense.
Well, I think Ossie's mirror shield was in Hype Cave
Right.
after.
Okay, Purity Wong taking out the cape for this room. How's the God Pixel? Just needs to be sure that he uncapes at the right time. Okay, he's good.
I'm
It is-
uncertain that we need the God Pixel for Cape, do we?
We do not. He just got it by accident, I guess. So you need it for Burna because you'll still bonk on the spike, but for Cape you actually will nudge around the spike. It's a weird little property of the two items. But sometimes you get the God Pixel and still get bad RNG, so the Cape protects you from that situation. Yes. Aussie is going to get his cane shortly. For him, it's going to be in Logic because he has the lamp from Pyramid Fair. He did that first.
Yeah.
And will not be able to progress further. One thing the runners could do, I don't think anyone's actually going to do this, but this is available to them, is they could clip to the sewers from Hera and use their Hera key to get all the way to the back of Escape, and then get their key refunded from the back of Escape, because there is a key there. It would be out of logic to do so, but it could lead to something early.
And Purdy Wong showing why the conveyor room is one of the scariest rooms in this dungeon. A fall wastes several seconds.
Yeah, it's a weird room if you're used to NMG going the other direction. So, okay, I may have been wrong about Aussie being behind. I think they're actually neck and neck. Because Aussie's going to check the bat, and Purity Wong is going to kill Blind, and it's going to happen at roughly the same time. This is really cool to see them this close after diverging this much.
Yeah, for sure.
I think Aussie is actually a hair ahead because Purity Wong has not done as much of the village checks as Aussie has done. Ooh, oh, he's doing his signature move of the 3 letters in Blind's text box that he gets from pixelating it. He used the mirror while Blind was transitioning and got this weird effect. This will actually persist as long as he allows it. I think save and quit will fix it. Or just doing another mosaic transition.
Right.
And here's another hookshot trick from Aussie. Both runners doing the same thing to get across. Look how quick these guys have gotten at this. This is a really new trick. I think Yuzuhara has known about it for a while, but the rando community as a whole has not. So we've all picked it up basically when this tournament was starting. All right, Purity Wong is going to treat us to some headaches as he does checks in the Village of Outcasts. Thankfully, sprites still show up normal, so we can still see what they're getting. Oh, Aussie hasn't done the library yet.
Yeah, he hasn't done this part of town.
Yeah, I know that he
Magic Bat.
He didn't get the sword in Nagina either. That's gonna be the one thing that he missed out on by doing this this together route. You know, sick kid, I'd be sick too if I had to live in a house that looked like this. Oh, okay, he's fixing it. Thank you.
Okay, yeah.
I'm glad to see you can map. He's had enough.
And we're also about to clip into Misery Mire, which will have some flashing effects that are not desirable. That can also be fixed with a map or just using the mirror. Single arrow from the digging game.
All right, look at this sync we're having. So Aussie was slowed down a little bit by not having done any of these light world checks. So he's not ahead. He's actually a little bit just doing different checks in the same route. Purity Wong is skipping Mire in favor of doing Stumpy first, which makes me think he's going to go through Mire and out Swamp. Is that what you think?
Yeah, that would make sense. I mean, if he goes through Mire to Swamp, he can exit into the overworld and go to Hype Cave, perhaps.
Oh, they're going to high-five it. They're gonna high five here. Oh, there's another sword in Meyer's shed. So Aussie looks like he's a little ahead, but he hasn't done desert or any of this stuff yet. So he was probably hoping he would have a fire source by now, which is correct. He does. But desert's dependent, so it's not as valuable as it may have been.
Yeah, so Aussie looks to be skipping desert for now.
Yeah, it's given that he has, it's a crystal that he can do. It makes sense to do this first. He might just find. Well, I was gonna say find all his go mode. He hasn't. He has the cane. Just to be clear, he has picked that up in the escape. He has not found the glove or the flippers, so in theory, it's possible for him to get go mode here, but it's a little bit unlikely. It would have to be both items.
Nice Meyer. Meyer 2 clear with Samaria for Aussie.
This is an incredible race. I'm so stoked to see them this close.
For sure.
It's
We
definitely
have a shovel.
reminiscent of a race that Aussie was in the last round.
Malmo versus Aussie.
That was within a minute as well. That was I even knowing the outcome, watching it back was exciting. Hope that the finals and semifinals will treat us to more races like that.
Wong had a bit of difficulty in Meyer 2.
Yeah, I think most runners are used to having the fire rod there. You can do the fire rod strat with the bow if you have the sword beams, but I think the bow is a little slow for doing only bow and not having beams.
Right. prdwong taking an interesting route through the spike room.
Yeah, is that optimal or is that just to get a heart?
I couldn't say. I've never seen it before.
Oh, and they had to do this without fire rod. Oof. It's always rough.
A slight oof, but they do get it done.
Yeah,
Or
people are
Aussie.
a little more inclined to do this check in hybrid because it opens up the option to do a bomb clip to get into Hera instead of having to one frame clip it,
Right.
making the clip itself a little bit faster. I mean, in theory, you can do the one frame clip really quickly too, but most people are faster at the bomb clip.
Yeah.
Oh, Purity Wong having an existential crisis, deciding to continue onward.
It was a crisis that only lasted about 1 second, however.
Yeah.
He made a decision.
Also decided to drink the blue potion, not risking a death in Mire, because that would... Yeah, at this stage of the tournament, you can't risk having a death like that. Like, that's how you fall behind to a runner as strong as your opponent.
Yeah.
You can't
Good.
count on your opponent making the same kind of mistake.
And it's a good call, especially dealing with Torch Room with Lamp.
And you have to ask yourself, what else are you going to do with that potion? Like, you've already done the overworld. You're not going to be fake fluting with it. You're on Butter Sword. You're not going to get into situations where you run out of health and magic somewhere else. That's worse than where you are now.
All right, so Aussie is continuing on to Vitreous. I'm a little uncertain about where Aussie is inclined to go after this.
This is Boomerange.
Okay.
I have never seen somebody use Boomerange in a race before.
Okay, I really want to go back to see that because I just saw that in a clip for basically the first time.
So
Just in a Discord search on yesterday.
for those who don't know, you can use use the hook shot to make the red boomerang go farther. It's just some weird property of the red boomerang.
Yeah.
You may have encountered it if you're in GT and trying to do the blue boom strat with the red boom. You'll see like the boomerang go through the wall and it won't work. That's
Yeah.
boomerang. But you can use it to hit the switch in lieu of spooky because I can't do spooky without fire rod. That is really fun to see. I've actually never seen someone use that.
It makes a lot of sense, and good on Aussie for employing it.
Yeah, I forgot it existed until he pulled that out, to be quite honest. And there's the second item, the bombs. So they did find the shovel. This is going to be a little awkward for prdwong because he did Stumpy already and does not intend to return to that area. I think he intends to go through Swamp, unlock Swamp, and then do Hype Cave. Aussie has not done Stumpy, so he can do Stumpy and Shovel together and do a more traditional overworld route, which appears to be what he's doing. He still has overworld checks in Desert as well, so it doesn't make sense for him to do the Swamp route.
Okay.
How bad would it feel if you go in there and it's the fire rod and Desert Ledge?
That's okay. Save a transition.
Yeah. If the fire rod is on Desert Ledge and you're getting it an hour into the seed, you have bigger problems.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, more than torches and spooky.
Yeah. And we wouldn't have gotten to see Boomerang. prdwong took quite the bath in Vitreous's goo, but has plenty of health to survive hits.
Slung bath.
It's good for the complexion.
I'm wondering if anyone recognizes prdwong's sprite. I don't know what it is offhand.
Looks like Breath of the Wild Zelda, maybe? But with like an alternate palette. Maybe a chic palette? I'm not sure. I never played Breath of the Wild, so I don't know what it's referring to. It does look like a chic palette, though. That's what would come to my mind. Yeah, you can see Aussie is kind of paying off his debt. He hasn't done Desert yet. So that's giving prdwong time to take a bit of a lead going into this chore that he has to do, which is unlocking Swamp. Aussie has checked Desert Ledge again, just to make sure. I mean, you don't want to leave that behind. Like, if you're not sure, it's just go down and look at it again. Because if it was important, then you basically lost the race. Okay, here's the bomb clip that moving the wall has enabled. Did not trust his setup. I think maybe he didn't dash turn, so he is setting it up again. Because if you fail that and you fall into the pit, you lose like an entire minute and it feels really bad. All right, half magic is on the shovel, which is nice, but it's not going to hurt prdwong if he skips it. Like, it's not going to save him that much time, if any. All right, now we're going to Swamp. This is why we did Hera clip. Meyer to Hera, Hera to Swamp. This is how you do Swamp.
And we get our answer about Hera availability, which is that Meyer locks Hera.
So we found the Hera Big Key in Meyer State, which is no longer a Hera Big Key. It's a Meyer Big Key now. And Aussie will be getting his 4th sword in Agina's Cave, which was prdwong's first sword.
Wait, prdwong has made a mistake.
has made a mistake.
Yeah.
Oh no.
So this is something to think about. What is he gonna do?
He's just gonna walk. I'll just come back here and with the flippers, because this is the reason flippers can't be in Swamp, right? It's
Okay.
the game knows that you can do this and lock yourself out, and isn't going to punish you that hard for it. Like, it'll let you misspend keys because it can't really prevent that, but it's not going to let you flood the flippers in Swamp. So he loses time because he doesn't unlock Swamp, and he did all those clips for nothing. But he hasn't like hard locked his seed or anything. He'll be okay. And he'll
I'm a
get his half
little-
magic.
Yeah, I'm kind of wondering why he didn't try to splash delete.
He probably doesn't know how. I don't know. Like, I don't think everybody here knows how to do that.
Oh,
Oh.
yeah, I suppose you're right.
Ossie's doing the pendant.
All right,
Ammo.
interesting play.
Is this an item? I have to imagine it is. Like, you wouldn't do this if it wasn't. When you don't even have the other pendant available to you. Both of them are locked by the fire rod. I think the runners are tied up on checks now, with prdwong maybe a little bit ahead. Except that, if prdwong does desert, then he'll lose all of that lead. And if desert has an item, then he's left it behind for probably ever. So that would be very unfortunate. Okay, he is healing. I wonder if he intends to do Ganon's Tower and Spike Cave together. No, he's saving it. He's fixing his camera. Okay, this might be a Turtle Rock play instead. Turtle Rock is fine. Like, when you have a lot of items on Laser Bridge, you can get to them quickly, and there's nothing stopping the progression from being there, except maybe some logic of the fire rod being required for small keys.
Just a heart container at the boss of desert.
All right, and prdwong's doing an older setup for mirror wrap.
Mm-hmm.
Now we have to manually line up.
Interesting.
Gets in. It's a little harder, but it works just the same. Yeah, prdwong has been running this since at least 2018, so he learns. He knows a lot of things that have existed for a very long time and has some very old knowledge of this game. And that's a good backup to know as well. If you're coming from the other side of the mountain, it's a little bit faster to just drop down the laser bridge and do that setup than to trying to TR climb again and do the clip like you would now. Oh, this is interesting. Ossie is going to... He's going to have to clip up. That's fine. He doesn't have any of the gloves. He is 2 items away from being able to lift that rock. Yeah, that's fine. He has the boots. He can just do this instead. He's going to open TR from the front. They're going to high five.
And
I don't think he's actually going to go in. Maybe he will, but he might be intending to go out. I can't remember which one did hype or which one did mimic cave and which one did catfish. But both of them will probably be ending the route on the other one's check. All right, so he is going front. He does not have the fire rod and can only do 1 check here. If he finds a small key, he might even still go in from the back. Wrong cane. I mean, we have the cane, but it doesn't do anything. Oh, he's just doing 1 check in catfish. Okay. I think he just wanted to get catfish out of the way. I like that double rock. That's funny. I don't think I've ever seen that before.
all right, what's next for Ossie? He's walking out.
Yeah, where is he going? Checking his mushroom because he's soft locked.
Oh, yeah. True.
Yeah, this is what I meant by I hope this doesn't haunt him later, because he now has to do this whole like clip thing to get around the rock and mirror, and it's time loss. You would have already done this check if he hadn't soft locked. But it's time loss that wouldn't have mattered if he had skipped this altogether. But at this point, he has done so much of the game that it doesn't really make sense to do anything else. Like, yeah, he could go into Ice Palace, but none of that is in logic.
It is in logic.
Yeah,
Turtle
that's a
Rock?
good question. I don't think anyone's done front of Skull.
Oh, yeah, right.
And we've already seen as much of Turtle Rock as we're ever going to see without the fire rod, because prdwong did all of it. Except maybe the big chest. I didn't really look. The their key situation. Did you actually see if prdwong got a big key?
I didn't see one.
Well, with prdwong has not done Mimic Cave, so I'll see if he goes in to check the big chest or not. Oh yeah, so if it was vanilla and he doesn't know the small key situation because he doesn't have access to all the chests, he'll go in and he'll check that big chest.
This makes a lot of sense.
Do this first. It's a little bit faster than Mimic Cave, and it is a small key, but he didn't really have any way of knowing that at the time. Aussie is going to go to GT. This play makes sense if you feel comfortable with the bomb jump and the fire rod list right side. He can do the rest of GT.
Yeah, I agree with this.
Yeah, I agree, except that bomb jump sucks, and it's awful, and I can see why you would put this off.
Yeah. I mean...
Even if you're good at it, it's still really slow. Like, you have to go into that room, kill all the enemies, and then do this whole, like, bomb jump, and then fall and wait for your screen to scroll forever to get back to the door.
I'm starting to have a hunch that Fire Rod is in Skullwoods.
I think prdwong is saying it's in Hair Basement. So the nice thing about what prdwong did is he did unlock... Oh, flippers are in tile room. Okay. prdwong unlocked the door in Mire, so he didn't actually waste time doing that check as much as it might seem. Because now if he were to get the flippers, he could clip there from Hera instead of from Mire. It's a little faster. And he gets to do this check safely and not have to worry about the Hera small key being used for Swamp. So flippers are not nice to find. We need them, but, well, they're nice, I guess. It puts Gloveless Ice in Logic and all of Swamp. Because there is a clip you can use that requires the flippers, and that is in Logic to get into Ice. Swamp is fine. You just do Swamp. And nothing in Hair Basement. Unfortunate. So prdwong has to do what Aussie is doing, and very likely the Fire Rod is behind those flippers. And if Aussie wasn't doing this very well executed bomb jump, he would have to double dip GT.
We get a soft reset from prdwong, so he does save that key.
Oh, he doesn't need it though. Okay. You already used the key door.
Yeah, I suppose that makes sense. Alright, so we're skipping the big chest, it looks like, on Aussie's side. And we did earn the book.
That's a good point. If he does go in from... he saves a few frames. He doesn't have to do diver down. So that's, yeah, it's faster. That's a very good point. You have an extra key now that you can burn. prdwong is going to Skullwoods and Bumper Ledge. I don't think he's done Bumper Ledge yet because his route took him through Hammer Pegs. And he went straight south from there and didn't do anything north of Hammer Pegs. Has he not checked Lumberjack?
Oh.
Wow. I have seen Lumberjack kill seeds before. If this is something and you don't check it early, usually your opponent did, and you are at a serious disadvantage. I think he is very happy to see nothing there. I mean, you always are, but he is especially happy to see nothing there. Aussie is in a very commanding position. And unless prdwong finds the Fire Rod, making him incentivized to go to GT, he has a good chance to find a glove at one of the next places he goes, which is probably going to be Swamp.
Yeah, and yeah, for sure. It's a glove. It could be in one of two places.
Yeah, including glove locked, unfortunately. There are a couple locations the glove can be that require a glove, and then you're just looking for one glove instead of two.
Yeah, one idea you mentioned before was a sequence break of Hyrule Castle. Back of escape is a possibility.
And actually, prdwong's save scum of the key gives him that option. And I don't think that's what he had in mind, but wow, very nice hook shot. What single pixel perfect clip through that spike. That is pixel perfect, right? Like,
I didn't see whether he went through the blocks.
he did, yeah. He
Yeah.
He hookshotted through the spike. into
Yeah,
the block.
exactly. It's pixel perfect.
Very nice. People do that so casually, and it looks like it makes it look free, and it really isn't.
Yeah.
Well, nothing here in Skullwoods, so prdwong has lost a little time to Aussie. We probably will not be going here. And there's a glove at top of GT. Aussie is in go mode at 1 hour and 14 minutes.
Wow.
So this is a pretty good lead, but I think prdwong is following in his footsteps. Is behind by the GT climb and the right side GT. Assuming he can even pull off the lamp right side on the first try, it's still quite slow to do. He'll be lagging behind just by dungeon progress.
And Moldorm is defeated for Aussie.
Yep. Aussie has 0 keys. I guess he left a key on an enemy somewhere. It's really rare to see 0 keys coming up here.
So, yeah, I'm starting to wonder if big chest will be a small key or not.
Yeah, it's probably not going to come up. Like, prdwong can go there, but I don't think he will. He's going to find the flippers here. That's going to open up all the chests, and he's going to be in glove go mode. You don't do big chests when you're in glove go mode.
Makes sense. Nice Aga 2 fight for Aussie.
Yeah.
Seemed like friendly patterns.
Yeah, he got some that looked like free triples and then got blue balls. So that was friendly, but, you know, always got to throw a curveball, right?
It's a difficult boss.
Yeah. No, I mean, he handled it as well as he could have. It was all RNG at that point.
Yeah.
So, prdwong is also going for the fire rodless right side GT, which is terrible, but pretty much required in the seed if you want to keep up with your opponent. Like, yeah, you could go looking for the fire rod and come back, but at that point, you know that your opponent did this, and it feels bad to be in fire rod go mode in a seed where it's not required. And it looks like he's pretty comfortable with it too. Just going through the motions. This is a really difficult trick.
Yeah, it's so interesting. It's so interesting that we have a fire rodless seed here that does expect us to have the fire rod to get the big key.
Yeah. Just to be clear, this is not in logic what prdwong is doing. Oh, you like
We missed a torch.
You didn't like the torch. You didn't like the torch. Aw.
Okay.
All right. He got it. He executed it perfectly, and then just didn't like the torch. It was really sad. All right. Try again. If he can do it once, he can do it again. No big deal.
Meanwhile, Aussie is showing Hera to swamp again with a bomb clip.
Yeah, and he saves time not coming from Meyer. He gets to do only 1 clip instead of 2. Taking a little bit of tries to get this bomb clip. It's tricky. You have to do 2 frame perfect inputs after doing the clip. It's just not fun, but he gets
The walk into the bomb looks a little silly, but we expected a dash there.
Oh, he walked into the what? I missed that. All right. The prdwong is not going for big chest. It's glove go mode. You don't do that. And you have 2 crystal dungeons open up to you now. There's probably a glove in one of them.
Right.
All right. Diver down has made this mode so good. You can just flood the thing and then get the key. You used to have to get the key and then come back. It was awful. Not that I was there for it, but... In fact, if you flooded the key, you were kind of screwed, weren't you?
I don't remember. Sorry.
There has never been a better time to get into major glitches than now. Like, there's
Yeah, for sure.
so many ways to fix the problems that you can run into. A lot of resources out there, guides that you can follow to do these clips in like 3 different ways each, and you can just pick one that's good for you and not have to learn necessarily the hardest version of each clip. It's a little sad that Hera Pot makes Meyer to Hera not really required.
It is.
Like, it's only required in theory most of the time. Every once in a while you get a hook shot upstairs and then you have to do it, but most of the time you just Hera Pot.
And we've seen that in the tournament, I believe.
Yeah, we've seen a couple. We've seen a couple where the runners like don't get the hook shot at all because they can hover. We've seen a couple where the hook shot was found after because it was like in swamp or something.
And Gauntlet 5 is a little bit awkward for Pretty Wong. Since we don't have the Fire Rod, we don't have the usual strat there.
Yeah, right. No Fire Rod Gauntlet sucks. At least they have good sword offense for Lambo, so you can kill them pretty quickly. The sword does the same damage as the Fire Rod. It's just a little harder to rapid fire, so you... Now, pulling out the Ice Rod does the same damage, but it's a little harder to hit because it moves slowly and has this weird acceleration thing going on. See if Aussie does any silvers checks. At this point, there's not that much left in the game, so silvers are a little more probable than they would be. Just a map and compass and diver down, though. Skipping the waterfall room to get a clean dash across. That one does slow you down a little bit more than you'd expect. Like, you are running past it, but running is faster than walking. And if you stop and open the chest, you are no longer running. prdwong hopefully remembers that he doesn't have the Fire Rod. Okay, he remembers. I don't know if this is going to be fast enough, though. Okay, he's going to wait. That's good.
Yeah, I forgot all about that, yeah.
I think that the problem with Gauntlet is the first part is so execution heavy, you have to turn part of your brain off that thinks about things like what items you have. And by the time you get up here, you have forgotten you don't have the Fire Rod.
Oh. The Fire Rod is found.
Oh, it's
at Argus.
Argus, okay. That's going to be used probably once in Ganon, and that's it. I guess it'll be used on Ice Palace. We do have bombos. I didn't think about Argus access as a go mode, but we did have bombos. In fact, I have forgotten that before, where I ask, hey, what's this runner looking for? And realize, oh, it's a weapon for Argus, because we don't have Fire Rod or bombos. That's a soft lock. Okay, Aussie has learned his lesson. If something goes wrong in the Ice Palace wrap, you save and quit.
Yeah, the hop he just performed is something that I've come across oftentimes. Just being a little too high.
I would hate to see him hard lock twice and seeds where he's ahead. Like, that's...
Yeah.
He'll take this race. He's very ahead, but if he had hard locked, he would have lost Swamp Palace and been probably behind, because he would be basically doing Swamp Palace at the same time as prdwong, but prdwong has already unlocked the door and has an extra key.
He gets the kickback, good, and
he can hard lock safely now. It's fine. He won't lose anything.
He's still going very high in that window where we can transition to the right.
I don't see people hard lock there very often. Everybody makes a big deal about it, but all the hard locks I see are from other things going wrong with these ice clips, especially the flippers wrap, where you can hard lock just by forgetting what direction to move after you wrap.
Yeah. Or just missing input.
Yeah, this is going to be an extremely fast Ice Palace. This is effectively the speedrun route, where you just icebreaker your way through and skip everything. He will have to grab a key, so he's going to lift the rock if he remembers to. And he has his hammer out, so he does remember. If you're doing the speedrun, it's easy to forget this, because you get the key in the chest. The Purdy Wong is doing a check. Why is he doing a check? Where are you going, Purdy Wong? You're in go mode.
I'm curious as well.
Is it a
Don't
quick
know.
silvers check? Maybe he feels behind and knows that like Aussie gets go mode and doesn't get silvers there. But he's gonna go into swamp or ice. I guess swamp is unlikely. He hasn't unlocked it. So yeah, I guess this is ice. Okay. Oh, he's doing a teleport. Interesting. Yeah, that's safe. As long as you don't teleport up, you're fine. You can actually get the same hard lock that Aussie got if you teleport up there instead of down. No, if you teleport up and you recognize that you did so, that you're fine. But if you try to move around, you might hit a bad transition. Oh, he misses the wrap and has to wait. His screen is a little messed up too, so his visual cues might be off. This part's the same though, and he'll be okay because he saved and quit. Aussie has defeated Cold Stare, is ready to fight Ganon. This is going to be the end of his game. Purity Wong still has to do Swamp and Ice.
Purdy Wong has an uncommon method of doing the ice clip. He goes for a teleport.
Oh yeah, this is the same, like this is Kiki Skip essentially. Like, people do this for Kiki Skip, where you clip in, not at the same spot, but you buffer up once and then teleport down.
All right, so Aussie's just running to Ganon at this point. We'll be fighting Ganon silverless. However, with red mail and gold sword,
Yeah.
should be no problem.
It's going to be a
Half
pretty...
magic.
For a runner of his skill levels, it's going to be a pretty trivial fight. I don't think he's even going for the one-on-one setup and doesn't need to. It's Icebreaker for Purity Wong. Getting the chest, and he gets a small key. This will save him a little time if he remembers not to pick up the rock. He has his hammer out, so he's going to pick it up anyway. I'm not sure why. If he still thinks he needs the fire rod, he already skipped the part that requires it, so I'm not sure why he'd be going for this. I'm a little worried.
Yeah, I'm worried.
I'm wondering what he thinks is a pendant and what he thinks is a crystal.
Gosh.
The silvers are here. Maybe he'll find them. Cannon just told us.
Yeah.
All right.
Spoiler alert.
I wonder if Aussie is wondering, oh, is that a chest I just ran right past? It wasn't. But if Purity Wong is full clearing ice, it will be here. And yeah, you don't take this route if you're not full clearing. He thinks he needs fire rod. That's really unfortunate, but it's not going to make the difference in this race. Aussie is already ahead by 2 dungeons, even with go mode. And we know Purity Wong has not found all the items yet because one of them is the bow, and we haven't gotten that yet. All right, that is GG for Aussie, has defeated Ganon. We'll be entering the Triforce room shortly.
GG to Aussie. Aussie finishes with a time of 1 hour, 28 minutes, and 24 seconds.
And we are
Which-
joined by Aussie in chat. How's it going?
GG's.
Yeah, GG's taking it to game 3.
GG. That was quite a start. Everything, you can go everywhere, and then also mirror. So that was something to route.
Yeah, that's always one of my favorite kinds of seeds. Starting with an early pearl and an early mirror.
Yeah, you get to choose a lot of. You get to basically shuffle around your locations. You're not forced into doing anything. You can just choose what to pair with other things. I saw you chose to pair desert and mire together, which is really nice to see. Unfortunately, some soft locks broke up your route, but you put it together nicely in the end.
Yeah. What was cool is that I saw Flock going to hammer pegs the first time, but then I found the lamp and Samaria. So then when I came back to my route, I could do desert and mire.
Yeah,
It's true, yeah.
and it was a little bit more efficient. So Ice Palace was a little scary. What happened there?
You mean the entry?
Yeah, the going in.
I don't know. I just missed the.
I guess you just missed.
Well,
Yeah.
But what happened was Aussie was a little bit high going to the right transition, I believe, and that makes it difficult to kick Link down.
Oh, I see. You got the
yeah,
thing
I'm
where
usually
you would.
high on that
If
when
you
I
don't
miss
have
it.
flippers, that's a soft lock. And if you do, you
Well,
can splash in the
okay.
water and then swim down.
Yeah. Okay, we puzzled it out.
Yeah, I looked at it since last race, so that won't happen again.
Yeah, that's one of those that you just have to be aware of, and I think a lot of people aren't. Yeah, it's one of those also that happens when you're trying to go really fast. So people who are beginners don't really run into it as much as people who are very experienced.
Yeah, missing that pixel like I did in this time, that happens kind of common. And
Yeah.
part of why I use the Link sprite is there's a couple lineups that are sprite dependent. So I look at his hat for that one.
I look at his shield, and I probably shouldn't be looking at his shield because I play randomizer. All right, prdwong is doing swamp, but has to do. I think he has to fix fake dark world, so he has to mirror twice. Because he came in from Hera, and when he got there, he was still in the light world. And when you mirror, it just takes you to the dark world instead of taking you to the light world. So one little extra step.
I think we're a little uncertain about prdwong's go mode status.
Yeah, so he full cleared ice after finding the glove in GT, and we don't know what he was looking for. So we're thinking that maybe he has it in his head that he needs the fire rod.
That would make the most sense.
Yeah, and he will find it since we saw it through the explosions of Argus.
Yeah, and the real question is, what is he going to do? Is he going to go to Ganon, or is he going to go to a dungeon? Yeah, there it is. He's checking chests in the swamp. Oh no.
So how did you feel about your go mode search, Aussie, after flippers?
It felt like flippers was the really hard to find item in this one. So I wanted to do GT early. So as soon as I got bow, I felt like doing left side GT was the thing to do. And that isolated the flippers for a long time. But I did get back to him before completely last locationing.
Yeah, if you don't have the comfort with that bomb jump on right side, it can be even worse. There is, of course, a route where you do Pyramid Fairy really early and you get the cane early, but neither of you took that route. Both of you did. Actually, both of you were doing the same thing, alternately spilling off and then recombining. So you were, I would say, like one dungeon behind prdwong, except that you had done Thieves Town, so you were actually really close. And then somewhere at Mire and Desert, you converged and were actually doing things together. That was
So
really
your escape and prdwong did Thieves Town.
Yeah.
Cool.
So it was neck and neck up until prdwong decided to go to Skull Woods when you went to GT. And then at some point, decided he needed the fire rod. He actually already did the fire rod lock stuff in GT, so he's not looking for it for that reason. Well, there's a flute here. We won't be seeing the bird today.
Yeah, he did the right side GT without fire rod in our last race too.
Makes sense. Oh, I didn't know
Yeah.
you could dash from there. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, that's a funky one.
I know you can do like the one frame to the left. Is that a controller malfunction or a forfeit? This looks like it might be a controller malfunction. Because he's
Swimming.
yeah, swimming. He's back in it. Okay.
It did seem like a pretty close race around that point where you went to Meyer. Not quite sure exactly what slowed prdwong down most, but he did have a problem going into Swamp from Meyer because he flooded the room and didn't have flippers.
Yeah,
That
he's.
slowed him down a bit.
So what is he gonna do with that fire rod? Is he gonna realize he has 7 crystals and go to Ganon, or is he gonna do a dungeon? You know, another thing that might be happening is he knows he lost and just wants to know where the fire rod is. And just wants to show us where it is, which is really cool.
Yeah.
I mean, unfortunately, we saw it because it was on a boss, but you know, it's a race ROM. You don't get to look at a spoiler log, so this is one way to find out.
Depending on how he was tracking this, one of the prizes of Swamp or Meyer may have let him understand. Or the music.
That's true too.
Oh, he did show us where the silvers were. Which chest was that?
I can't remember which chest it was.
It was like the last one he did, so either big chest or freezer room. And the big key was in the like the H room where you had to lift the rock and pull the tongue and all that.
Sure. Yeah, this one, I felt like I was routing okay. It's just I kept making a lot of mistakes and soft blocking. Losing minutes to that. That didn't feel good.
And good call on hitting select early at Hobo. So you didn't have any long transition there.
Yeah, that was more a bad sign of what was to come more than anything.
It's okay, you still got one more game to go and plenty of time to prepare for it between now and tomorrow. The game 3 tomorrow will be at 7 p.m. Eastern on Friday. And prdwong has finished with an official racetime.gg time of, we'll see it, 1:37:52.
GG to prdwong. I thought he was in here, but now I don't see him.
GG.
GG prdwong. So what happened at the end of the seed?
Were you just showing us where Fire Rod was?
No, I was swimming towards Argus when I realized I didn't need Fire Rod.
Oh, I
A
see.
humongous brain for it.
Yeah, if it makes you feel better, that's not what cost you the race. You were A little bit behind on finding the glove as well. So
Yeah.
we did get to see the
Felt like
silver
it because
arrows
I like
location.
because I scour the world, so I mean, I couldn't imagine being first to that.
The flippers were in a really awkward location. Like anyone could have taken a long time to get there. So even if you feel behind, it's not necessarily true that your opponent didn't just do the same thing. But in this case, you know, he did get there a little bit earlier than you and got to climb GT and find his glove.
Yeah, I assume he went to GT later than me, and that would make it much easier for him to find everything.
He
there.
actually did not. He was behind you. So he did like a stop into Village of Outcasts and then ended his route in a little soft lock, and then was doing exactly the same thing you did for a good 30 minutes for just one dungeon behind, but having done Thieves Town. So you were neck and neck, and then at somewhere around Meyer, he finished his checks and you finished yours, and you were in the same place. And we're actually about tied. And then you went to Skullwoods and he went to GT.
Oh, and
Most-
another thing that slowed you down was you cleared Turtle Rock.
Yeah.
Oh, Turtle Rock from back to front. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, he went there too, but he only went to one chest and then went to Catfish. I forgot about Turtle Rock, but that's true. That explains why you're 2 dungeons behind, is because you did 2 dungeons that he didn't do. That's how the game works when both runners are that similar skill level.
Yep. So he went back to GT with just the cane?
He had the lamp. So, you know, you said I can do this, and even though it sucks, I can do the right side and climb. So I might as well do it. And he found the flippers there.
Yeah, I tried to stay a little bit more in logic, and was like, it's only the one item there, so I was like, let me do the other stuff first.
Yeah, it's a hard sell. I think there's a theoretical route where you do Pyramid Fairy really early and get the cane and just have the flippers for the whole seed. That would be an interesting one because you would have the Fire Rod as well and might be tempted into TR, but also get to Gan's Tower more quickly.
Well, I definitely didn't do myself any favors by not even thinking about what I really needed for go mode.
Mm-hmm. Oh, there's still another chance. You got game 3 coming up tomorrow. How do you feel about that?
I don't know, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be an uphill battle.
Yeah, game 3. It's going to be an uphill battle for both of you, if that's possible. Just like Paradox Cave. Both of you are running uphill.
$7 p.m. tomorrow, Eastern time. Looking
Yes.
forward to that.
And if you'd like to see more hybrid major glitches, this is the semifinals of the tournament. We got another pair coming up this weekend. We got Skleeby and Krithel facing off in the morning on Saturday, and then their game 3 would be on Sunday if they have one. And then we go into finals and bronze the next week or the week after, depending on scheduling. So yeah, if you would like to follow these runners, both of them are very active in the glitch community and also in other versions of A Link to the Past. So you can watch some SMZ3 or some Door Rando. Follow the runners, follow our tracker. Got Professor Pixie clicking the buttons for us, and my co-commentator Chex Human, as always.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun, Mama.
Yeah, I love
Great race,
I love
pretty
doing
long.
these races. I'm going to be sad when they're over. We got just a little bit of tournament left. Enjoying it while we can.
Great race from Aussie and Pretty Wong. And looking forward to another hype match tomorrow.
All right, good night, everybody.